The events of the tournament between Universe 6 versus Universe 7, Goku and Vegeta have been bummed out since they don't know what to do except training. But they actually got bored from it, as both of them know each other's fighting style to a perfect sync, so they can basically fight as one. But it starts to get really boring for both of them, with both of them thinking that maybe they should skip out on training at least for a month. Since they haven't been training for a straight 3 years, so maybe they should give it a break. Vegeta agrees, so they decide to take a break. But both Saiyans feels something. Of course, Goku did spar with Gohan when he came back to Earth to see if his son actually continued his training, and indeed Gohan has kept up with his training. After meeting Videl, meeting her and marrying her, of course, Gohan did care with his training, knowing that he must protect his family, learning from his father's experience that strong opponents will also come. And due to experience with Frieza, Gohan knows that he should always be in top shape to fight, knowing that if he did not do that, he most could have lost against Frieza and maybe possibly died and not even met Videl. Which makes Gohan even more motivated to train and to even actually pass down this knowledge to every future generations. So he decided to start his own version of a martial arts book to basically teach everyone how to utilize ki freely. And Goku was proud of his son, as Gohan did that in his free time. But Goku and Vegeta knew that they must grow even stronger. Of course, they have perfected their Super Saiyan 4 limit breaker forms, while they have now gone even stronger than ever before. But they still believe that they need much more room to grow. But Goku instantly feels something unfamiliar, instantly freezing in place as he feels an overwhelming energy. It's so dark, so evil, he cannot even fathom it. It's almost as evil as Frieza, not even more. The malicious intent behind it, it's so intense that it was even more intense than Beerus when he first arrived on Earth. It's like the current intent from this being alone was just enough to make Goku shiver. Of course, Goku looks to Vegeta, as Vegeta asks Goku if he felt it as well. Goku nodding and gritted his teeth. Saiyan Naruto has appeared. Vegeta also gritted his teeth. It says that they cannot even get a single chance of having a peaceful time on Earth without even training. This gets Vegeta and Goku irritated, since they want to relax with their families. This has been a really long time since they've seen them because they're trained with Whis and Beerus. Both of them are really irritated by this, but they know what they must do. Eventually, they arrive in front of a portal, a black and bluish color. Both of them are confused on the color of the portal, but they decide not judge it, knowing that they must get ready for the fight. And eventually feel the from another energy they felt before. And eventually the figure steps out, being none other than Goku Black. And this timeline, Zanos decides to practically take Gohan's body instead of Goku, since Gohan was the one who, in this timeline, defeated the entire Universe 6. But Zanos did not steal this Gohan's timeline's body, but another one, from a similar timeline from this one. Since there's no future Trunks, there'll be no future timeline, so this Gohan Black has actually been training in the other timeline he destroyed, after Hearing decided to arrive here. With Gohan Black just smiling at the two of them, saying that it would be pretty interesting. Goku and Vegeta actually taken it back. He looks like Gohan, but his energy is completely different. It's evil and darker as well. But they can also sense that Gohan is way back in his home with Videl, taking care of her as she is actually pregnant. Both of them knowing that they can sense the second energy within her. So both of them knew that Gohan is there. So this must be a copycat of someone different. Someone who saw Gohan's body. But Goku were irritated to actually see that. But Goku is even more shocked. How can this be? Who couldn't even have the power to even store his son's body? It shouldn't be possible. But the energy he feels, it's identical to Gohan, but it's darker. It's corrupted to some extent. You cannot tell, but it's indeed evil. Of course, Gohan just smiles at them, saying that he'll bring divine judgment to those mortals who think they can even match the gods even without their godly powers. Goku and Vegeta get irritated by Zaun's words. Goku as well. It tells Gohan Black that he will defeat him. Gohan Black inviting Goku to his challenge. Eventually part of Super Saiyan Rose, saying to the two Saiyans that he will not be sparing them, not in his timeline as well. Of course, Goku and Joe confused what Gohan Black means, but he does not say anything, and Goku just had to do that as well. Part of Super Saiyan Blue, their perfected Super Saiyan Blues, both of them rushing against Gohan Black, with their battle designed to go on. And this actually battle is incredibly intense. Both Goku and Vegeta cannot believe it, as Gohan Black is actually keeping up with both of them, even with their teamwork together. Both Goku and Vegeta have been training for a couple of years together, and have gotten so good that they can actually fight as one. But yet their teamwork together is not even pushing Gohan Black even a side inch. It's like he's actually equal to both of them combined. It's almost unbelievable. It's exact same situation as they had back then with Beerus, but it's actually much more different. Beerus was still holding back then, but they don't know if Going Black is holding back or not. But they can tell that he was indeed utilizing a lot of power to push them back. So they know that at least he's trying. It's not like Beerus when he did not even try to utilize full power. But Going Black decides to get serious, saying the two then it's time for him to utilize even more power, and eventually going into his perfected Rose form. Shocking Goku and Vegeta as now Going Black was even stronger than him before, now overpowering them with ease. Shocking the two then as Going Black was actually not even utilizing his strongest forms just yet. He was still going serious right now. But he just laughed at the two then, saying that they're not even worth the effort of him utilizing his real power. Of course, Goku would get irritated and tell Goku and Black to not underestimate them. But he then rushes at Goku, trying to call him off guard, but Goku is prepared, utilizing his strength into one punch to block Gohan Black's attack. He's impressed and tells Goku that he is indeed the father of Gohan. Shame that he had to kill him in another timeline to steal his body. Goku gets irritated and asks Gohan Black who he is, when eventually Gohan Black reveals himself as Zamasu, the guy from another universe, Universe 11, or close to that universe. Of course, Goku is irritated to actually see as Akai, someone who is basically supposed to create life, is actually trying to destroy mortals. This is something unfamiliar to Goku, but he's really irritated that Zamasu is basically going against his own morals. With of course Zamasu telling that he does not understand what a true god is supposed to do, and is destroy insects like him. But Goku gets even more irritated, punching Gohan back in the face, sending him back. But as Gohan Black decides to get even more serious, power to his beast form, and this shocks Goku and Vegeta as he realized that Gohan Black can actually utilize the power of Gohan's beast form. They could not believe it. He was actually equal to Gohan's power right now, if not even stronger. Goku and Vegeta knew that they must get even stronger. Power to the Super forms, they told they will not give up that easily, rushing at him with immense speed. But Gohan Black is able to predict their movements. Though both of them are still unpredictable thanks to their teamwork together. Gohan Black is pushed back, even shocked that Goku and Vegeta are still able to keep up with him even though the power gap has increased as well. But their power alone is not as short as it was back in Super Saiyan Blue Perfected. So Gohan Black actually needs to exert even more effort to push them back. Goku and Vegeta are able to actually hold their own against Gohan Black, but it seems like he was still growing the edge to gain much more used to the body. But also even more powerful as well, as he was learning about the form as well. Goku and Vegeta continue to fight against Gohan Black, realizing that their powers will drain significantly quickly if they realize the form of its true power. So he wants to finish off Gohan Black before he can even utilize to his truest potential. But they're too late, as Gohan Black has to fuse his Rose form with his beast form, creating what he calls his Rose Beast state. In this form, he was even stronger than before, and he pushed back Goku and Vegeta, with both of them being shocked. This form, this power, is almost divine yet not at the same time. It's like a complete mutation of this form. Goku and Vegeta cannot believe it, as this form feels almost mutated-like. They cannot even tell if it's God Ki or not, if it's normal or even Dark Ki. They cannot even tell. The overwhelming energy from it is so intense. They cannot believe it. Go back on Beerus' planet, Beerus instantly wakes up and felt a chill down his spine as he feels this overwhelming energy. He cannot believe it. How could it be another being with this type of energy before? We then eventually asked Beerus if he feels the same, with Beerus nodding, saying that this is another one of those beings who awaken this type of mutated power. He cannot believe it. But then we return back to Goku and Vegeta, with both of them still being shocked by Gohan Black's power. But Gohan Black wastes no time and eventually knocks Goku out of their Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker forms. Both of them being pushed back, shocked as they were knocked out of their strongest forms, but they did not give up. Powering up once again to the Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker forms, they rush against Gohan Black, but it's not even close, as Gohan Black is still holding his own, easily dealing with both of them, and not even showing to even handle both of them at the same time. It's like he was toying with them right now. Of course, Goku decides to apparently send a transmission image to Gohan, and eventually Gohan was able to receive it, knowing that his father and Vegeta are in trouble. Gohan Black is part of his beast form. Of course, Gohan Black smiles at Gohan, saying that finally he'll face the real owner of this form, or what is a mutated form that he has right now. Of course, Gohan tells his copycat or Zamasu that he will beat him right here and now. He will not hesitate. Gohan Black just smiles and asks Gohan if he really thinks he can beat him. But Gohan Black tells him that But Gohan tells him yes, he can. As he powers up, eventually purple lightning starts to cover Gohan. Eventually, Gohan tells Gohan Black that he may have not learned this before, but he achieved his form after he defeated Universe 6. It was after a tournament that he trained himself and achieved his form. That's what he calls his beast form phase 2. Of course, this is actually shocking to Gohan Black, as Gohan has actually combined the powers of Super Saiyan 2 into his beast form. You realize that the beast form was in itself is actually a different form. So if you were to combine it with his other transformations like Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, he can actually increase it even more. And this is what he did, increasing his power even further beyond. Of course, like the beast form, it was actually really hard to maintain this form since it drained a lot of his ki, but after some time, and of course training with Piccolo, he was able to maintain this form for a longer time. Though Gohan needs to use it sparingly. So Gohan utilizes it in short bursts, just like Goku and Vegeta in original time I did with the God and Blue switch. So Gohan utilizes the power of his beast form phase 2 to attack and in his dodge and evade and block as well. But Gohan Black is getting irritated. Realizes that even with this new power, even matching Gohan's new form. He starts to power up even more, increasing his power to actually it's not enough. It only still gives each in power and speed as well. But all knows that he must end this right here and now. It does Goku Vegeta to their chance, saying that this is now. Both of them nod, and eventually, utilizing all their powers, they flash a double dragon fist at Gohan Black. As Gohan Black is in shock as he's enveloped by the attack. But he tries to move, but he is stunned. As he realizes that he's actually been trapped in time. He wonders how is it possible. He eventually looks to Gohan, who's holding him down. He was able to learn his time trap ability thanks to just seeing it once. It takes your giant potential. He was able to replicate a technique, though it's much more different. It actually slows the opponent down to a considerable margin, as long as he's at an equal level or lower than the user who has the technique itself. So Gohan Black is trapped. He cannot do anything. He's shot as the blast envelops him, and eventually there's nothing left. Of course, Goku and Vegeta remain vigilant, knowing that they must keep their vigilance against an opponent if he were to ever disappear. Of course, he tries to sense for Gohan Black's ki, but it's no more. Now that Dark Ki or mutated form actually remains, not even power left behind. There is nothing but mere dust. Both of them eventually relies him power down to base, happy that they have defeated his opponent, and eventually thanking Gohan for saving them once again. But on chance that they actually see them. If he were not to hold Gohan Black, he most likely would have ended up dead if Gohan Black took the chance of trying to stab him. But they were able to be quick enough to actually finish off. So Goku and Vegeta respect Gohan's decision and tell him that he is pretty good, and they're happy of how he has gone stronger. Gohan knows and eventually returns back to Videl to take care of her and his future daughter, as Goku and Vegeta return back to their families to make sure they have peaceful time. At least for now, before the next upcoming threat or challenge they'll face. But guys, this is the end for the sport. I hope you guys enjoy us. I'll see you guys next time. Sayonara everyone. See you next time.